As I grew older, I began to understand one important truth. Water, air, and earth together makes life possible on this planet. Water flows through underground rivers, lakes, rain, and oceans. It nourishes every living being. Without water, there is no food, no forest, no life. Air gives us oxygen. It is invisible yet essential. Every breath we take depends on it. Earth gives us soil and land. From this soil, life begins. Healthy soil grows food. Healthy soil supports forests, animals, and people. These three are not separate. They are deeply connected. Pollute the air and water becomes unsafe. Destroy the soil and food disappears. Cut forests and rainfall changes. What affects one affects all. Together they maintain balance. Together they sustain life. And when this balance is disturbed, life itself begins to struggle. Today, in the name of progress, many of us are polluting the environment that sustains us. We work harder to earn more money, to give our children better education, bigger homes, and comfortable lifestyles. But I want to ask one important question. Are we really giving our children a better future? Are we giving them clean air to breathe, safe water to drink, healthy food to eat? Or are we leaving behind a world filled with plastic, chemicals, polluted air, contaminated water, and disappearing forests and wildlife? What is the use of luxury if the air itself becomes unsafe to breathe? What is the use of wealth if clean water becomes rare? What is the use of development if future generations struggle just to survive? True success is not only money, not only buildings, not only technology. True success is leaving behind a healthy planet, a planet where our next generation can breathe fresh air, drink clean water, eat healthy food, and grow with nature. Because nature is not separate from us, nature is life itself. Air is invisible but gives us life. Every breath matters. Yet today, in many cities, air is no longer clean or safe. Smoke from vehicles, factories burning waste, and construction dust slowly fills the sky we depend on. According to the World Health Organization, air pollution causes around 6.7 million deaths globally every year. But death is not only part of the story. Millions more people suffer from serious health problems. Air pollution is linked to major diseases like heart disease, stroke, chronic lung diseases, lung cancer, and infections like pneumonia. In fact, nearly 99% of the world population is exposed to air that does not meet healthy safety standards. This means billions of people are breathing polluted air every single day. Air pollution is not just health crisis, it is also an economic crisis. According to the World Bank, environmental damage costs in India around 5.7% of its GDP every year, amounting to billions of dollars lost due to health impact, resources damage, and reduced productivity. So the cost is not only measured in lives but also in livelihoods. When people fall sick, they cannot work. When healthcare costs rise, families struggle. When productivity falls, economies weaken. This is the true cost of polluted air. Something we cannot see, but something that affects every breath, every life. Today, almost every home has motorcycle and cars. In many families, each person has their own vehicles. Because we want speed, we want comfort, we want to save time instead of waiting. Millions of vehicles on roads every single day. Millions of liters of fuel burning every day. Millions of tons of carbon entering the atmosphere every year. According to the International Energy Agency, road transport alone was responsible for around 12% of India's energy related carbon emissions. And when we look at the transport sector as a whole, about 90% of transport related carbon dioxide emission in India comes from the road transport. This shows one clear truth: our daily travel choices matter. More vehicles means more pollution, more traffic, more fuel consumption, more heat trapped in our environment. But there is another way: public transport, buses, trains, metro systems. One bus can replace 40 to 60 individual bikes and cars on the road. One train can carry thousands of people at once. This means less fuel used per person, less pollution, less traffic, less carbon released into the environment. In fact, studies shows switching from private car to public transport can reduce carbon emission by 50% to 90% per person. A typical car emits around 120 to 270 grams of carbon dioxide per passenger per kilometer, while buses and trains can reduce this significantly, often to less than half. Public transport is not only helping the environment, it also helps the economy. When fuel consumption reduces, countries import less fuel. More money stays within the country. That money can support development, infrastructure, health, and education. Countries like Japan shows how strong public transport system can support both economic growth and environmental protection. Their efficient railway and metro system move millions of people every day, reducing traffic, saving energy, and improving quality of life. Public transport is not just about moving people, it is about reducing pollution, saving fuel, supporting the economy, and protecting the future. But there is one more truth we often forget. The faster our lives become, the faster we consume. The faster we burn fuel, the faster we damage our environment. Our rush for speed is slowly speeding up the damage to the very planet our next generation will inherit. Because sometimes slowing down, choosing to share the journey, and not always driving alone can make the biggest difference. Water is life, but today clean water is becoming less in many parts of the world. Rivers that were once sacred now carry plastics, chemicals, sewage, and industrial waste. Around 4 billion people experience severe water scarcity for at least 1 month every year. Over 2 billion people still do not have access to safe drinking water. This is not a future problem, it is already happening. Water is becoming scarce and demand is increasing. But the real pressure is coming from how we are developing. Industries, factories, rapid urban expansion are changing natural water system. Every day, massive amount of untreated industrial waste are released into rivers and lakes. It is estimated that millions of tons of industrial waste enter water bodies globally each day. These wastes contain chemicals, heavy metals, toxins that make water unsafe, not just for humans but for entire ecosystems. Cities are growing rapidly, buildings, roads, and concrete surfaces are spreading everywhere. But when the ground is covered with concrete, rainwater cannot enter the soil. Instead of being absorbed, it flows away as runoff, carrying pollutants into rivers and reducing groundwater recharge. In many urban regions, groundwater levels are falling years after years because recharge is slower than extraction. We are taking more water than nature can replace, and the problem does not stop there. Polluted water enters rivers, rivers flow into oceans, and pollutants spread across marine ecosystem. More than 80% of marine pollution originated from land-based human activities. This pollution enters the food chain, affects fish, destroys biodiversity, and disrupts natural balance. Water pollution is also linked to serious health risks, causing millions of illness every year. But there is something important to understand. Not all human activities harms water. When managed properly, agriculture can actually support the environment. Fields and open soils allow rainwater to seep into the ground, recharging underground water reservoirs, naturally storing water for the future. Traditional farming systems, wetlands, and green landscapes act like natural sponges, absorbing water, filtering it, and maintaining the balance of the ecosystem. But when land is replaced with concrete, this natural system is lost, and slowly water disappears from beneath us. And when water becomes scarce, history shows us something important. People begin to struggle. Conflict rise over land, over food, over water. Because without water, there is no life, no farming, no stability. Water is not just a resource, water is survival. And if we fail to protect it, we are not just losing water, we are risking the future of humanity itself. Plastic is everywhere now. Let me give you one simple example. Sometimes, when we travel or when we are outside our home, we buy a bottle of drinking water from a shop or a hotel. We drink the water and then, without thinking, we throw that empty bottle somewhere. Let me ask you something. How long do you think that one plastic bottle will remain in the environment? A single plastic bottle can take around 450 years to decompose. And even after that, it does not fully disappear. It slowly breaks down into tiny, harmful plasticles called microplastics. Why does it take so long? Because plastic is not natural. It is made from chemicals that nature cannot easily break. Instead, it slowly breaks down with sunlight through a process called photodegradation. And if that bottle is buried in land with no sunlight, it can remain there for hundreds, even thousands of years, affecting the next 10 generations. Now think about this. You may feel, what difference does it make if I throw just one plastic bottle? But now imagine this. The world today produces more than 400 million tons of plastic every year, and a large part of it is used only once and then thrown away. If every person contributes even a small amount of plastic waste, it becomes a global crisis. Every year, around 11 million tons of plastic enters our oceans. That is like one garbage truck full of plastic every single minute. And in India alone, around 26,000 tons of plastic waste are generated every single day. That is thousands of trucks of plastic every day. In fact, India contributes nearly one fifth of global plastic pollution, with about 9.3 million tons of every year. Where does all this plastic go? It ends up in oceans, in rivers, in soil, in underground, and even inside the human body. Studies have found microplastics in drinking water, in food, and even inside human blood and lungs. This is no longer just an environmental issue, it is a human health issue. Plastic enters the food chain. Fish consumes it, animals eat it by mistake, birds and animals get trapped in it, and slowly it comes back to us. More than 800 marine species are affected by plastic pollutions. Plastic is not just waste, it is long-lasting environmental threat. A threat to ecosystems, to wildlife, to marine life, and to human life. So now the real question is, what kind of future are we creating? A world full of green forest, clean water, and life? Or a world covered in plastic? So, what can we do? We can make simple changes. Carry reusable bags, use steel or reusable bottles, avoid single use plastics, reuse containers, segregate waste properly, support recycling. And most importantly, start treating plastic not as a convenience but as responsibility. And teach our children from a young age to live with less plastic because small daily habits create big change. And the future of this planet depends on the choices we make today. Forests are not just group of trees, they are life. Let me share something from my childhood. During summer holidays, we used to spend most of our time around a giant banyan tree in our hometown. All the children gathered there. We climbed its branches, jumped from one tree to another, played like monkeys without any worry. That tree was not just a tree, it was our playground, our meeting place, our shelter. During special occasions, we used to sit under it, enjoy the cool breeze, protected from the hot summer sun. That giant banyan tree was part of our lives. But one day, everything changed. The landowner decided to cut it down. One by one, all those trees, including giant banyan tree, were chopped down and the land was cleared for sale. In one moment, we lost not just trees, but memories, shade, and life. And this is not just one story. I have seen many trees being cut for reasons that seem small. Because leaves fall and create a mess. Because leaves fall into wells. Because someone fears that tree might fall on their house. Slowly, silently, we are losing trees everywhere. Even in my own hometown alone, we have lost so many trees. But do we really understand what a tree is? There was a time when plants were not even considered living beings. They were seen as lifeless objects. But a great Indian scientist, Sir Jagadish Chandra Bose, proved otherwise. He invented a device called a crescograph, which could measure the smallest movement in plants. Through this experiment, he showed that plants respond to touch, pain, chemicals, and even poison. He pinched a plant and it reacted. He gave it chloroform and its activity slowed down. He tested its pulse and observed its internal response. And when poison was introduced, the plant showed signs of death, just like a living organism. These responses created electrical signals recorded by his machine. At first, his work was ignored by Westerns, but later the world accepted the truth. Plants are living beings. They feel, they respond, they live. And forests are living ecosystems. Forests bring the rain, cool the earth, protect rivers, recharge underground water, clean the air, and protect the soil. Yet today, we give more importance to concrete and steel than to trees, more importance to concrete than to nature. We cut trees and then install air conditioners, but air conditioners consume more energy creates more heat and more pollution. And slowly, the planet becomes warmer, weather becomes unstable. We are cutting the very trees that were naturally cooling the earth. We are destroying what was protecting us. Because the truth is simple, concrete and steel cannot replace forests. Buildings cannot create oxygen. Roads cannot bring rainfall. Factories cannot produce fertile soil. When we cut trees, we are not just cutting wood. We are cutting life support system. We are destroying the balance that sustain our planet. And in doing so, we are putting our own future at risk. Our ancestors understood something that modern society is slowly forgetting. Humans are not above nature. Humans are part of nature. Our ancestors did not just use nature, they respected it, they worshipped it. They worshipped forests, river, land, air, water, fire, and space. They understood that these are not resources, these are life forces. In Tulunadu, region like Udupi and Mangalore, there was a beautiful tradition. Sacred forests known as Nagabana and Daivabana. Nagabana believed to be protected by serpents, symbolizing the protection of soil, water, and underground life. Daivabana believed to be protected by divine spirits, guardians of land, forests, and natural balance. These were not just religious places, they were dense forests full of ancient trees, undisturbed ecosystems. People did not cut trees there, they did not disturb that land. These sacred groves quietly protected biodiversity for generations. They preserved water sources, maintained soil fertility, supported wildlife, and influenced rainfall patterns. They were natural conservation zones. Long before modern environmental science existed, our ancestors already knew how to protect the earth. But today, in the name of modernization, we are cutting these very trees. We clear forests and then build concrete and steel structures, and then we worship there, forgetting that the forest itself was the sacred place. Those trees were not obstacles, they were protectors. They were holding the soil together. They were storing water underground. They were cooling the air. They were supporting life around them. When we destroy these sacred places, we are not only losing culture, we are losing protection. We are losing balance, we are losing wisdom. Our ancestors lived with nature. We are trying to live without it. And that is the biggest mistake we can make. Because nature does not need us, but we need nature for our survival. Soil is not just a mud, soil is life. It is the foundation of everything we eat. Healthy soil grows food, it holds water like sponge, it supports plants, insects, worms, forests, and crops. Beneath our feet, there is a living world full of microorganisms that keeps the soil alive and fertile. But today, that life is slowly disappearing. Modern agriculture depends heavily on chemicals, fertilizers, and pesticides. These chemicals may increase production for a short time, but over the long term, they damage the natural structure of the soil. They kill beneficial organisms like bacteria and earthworms, reduce soil fertility, and weakens its ability to hold water. Industrial waste, plastic, and toxic substances are also entering the soil. This contamination spreads silently, affecting not just land, but also the food we eat and the water we depend on. One tragic example comes from South India, in regions like Dakshina Kannada and nearby Kasargod. A pesticide called endosulfan was sprayed for decades, from the late 1970s to early 2000. At first, it seemed like just another chemical used to protect crops, but over time, its devastating impact became clear. The poison entered the soil, the water, and even the human body. In Kerala's Kasargod district alone, more than 6,700 people were officially identified as victims, many suffering from disabilities, cancers, and lifelong illness. Over 5,000 severely affected victims were later recognized by the Supreme Court for compensation. Reports also estimates that around 6,500 families have been deeply affected, their lives completely altered for generations. And the human cost did not stop there. Government estimates suggest that more than 700 deaths were linked to the long-term exposure to this pesticide. In nearly Dakshina Kannada, the suffering continues even today. Recent data shows that nearly 4,900 people have been affected in the district, with new cases still emerging year after year. This means the damage did not end with one generation. It continued silently passing from parents to children. Children were born with deformities, many unable to walk, unable to speak, unable to live a normal life. Entire villages became symbol of pain. What was meant to protect crops ended up destroying lives. This is the hidden cost of careless pesticide use. When soil becomes poisoned, it does not affect just plants. It affects every living being connected to that land. And the damage does not disappear quickly. It remains for years, even decades. When soil becomes weak, crops become weak. When crops become weak, food becomes less. And when food becomes less, people suffer. In many places, farmers are already facing this reality. Lower yields, higher costs, and declining soil health. Some are forced to abandon farming completely. Soil erosion is also increasing, removing the top fertile layer, which took hundreds of years to form. Once lost, it cannot be replaced easily. The truth is simple. If we destroy the soil, we destroy our food. And if we destroy our food, we put human survival at risk. Because soil is not just ground beneath your feet, soil is life itself. Choices have consequences. There is hope, but change must start at home. Home is the first school, parents are the first teachers. Children do not learn by instructions alone, they learn by watching. If parents waste water, children waste. If parents litter, children repeat it. If parents cut trees carelessly, children think it is normal. But when parents choose differently, when they respect nature, save water, plant trees, reduce plastic, protect animals, children learn responsibility. They learn respect. They learn harmony with the environment. Educating the next generation is one of the greatest solutions. Real change does not start with policies alone, it starts in daily habits. We must teach our children forests are life supports, not obstacles. Rivers are sources of life, not dumping grounds. Wildlife is part of ecosystem, not a product. Soil is the source of our food, not a trash bin. We must reduce plastic, protect trees, save water, avoid wasting food, support farmers and traditional agriculture, respect wildlife. Every small action creates a bigger impact. Development without environmental balance is not progress, it is self destruction. Protecting forests means protecting rainfall. Protecting water means protecting life. Protecting soil means protecting food. Protecting wildlife means protecting balance. Protecting the environment means protecting humanity itself because we have only one planet, one future, one responsibility. The choice is ours. Lead by example, every action counts. What we choose today will decide the world our children inherit tomorrow.